Hello and welcome to another day of StarLadder. It is day number 22 and we are here with iCCup and 4FC for the first game of today. 5 games will be played today, and iCCup, they want to get some extra wins in because they still have a pretty strong chance to go to Kiev if they don't lose any of the matches to come. 4FC, they're a bit in a tougher spot. They have 5 losses so far while iCCup has 4, and even though it's still possible for them to go to Kiev, they have to hope that some other people lose in order for them still to go. So we're going to see which one of these two teams will be taking the 3 points that are on the table today. And we'll be doing it not by ourselves. No, we'll have the person that you won't hear, won't see. And we'll be providing you with stats. It is K-poptosis, the stat man, joining us today. And of course also my co-caster, who you might have heard unwrap something plastic during the intro. It is Vykromond. Welcome back.
I unwrapped something plastic. I thought that was you.
No, it wasn't. I was like, whoa, someone's really eating something here.
I'm blaming K-poptosis. Yeah. The claim was that he would not be seen nor heard, and he hasn't lived up to that. At any rate, it's great to be here, Sheever. Of course, these two teams, honestly, among the better teams that we've seen from that sort of second division of StarLadder. Neither are, with their records, terrifically likely to make the StarLadder playoffs, but they have provided big upsets against some of the best teams. 4FC, of course, defeating, who was it that they beat in StarLadder? At least Roxkiss and then maybe one other team. And then they also beat EG 2-0 in the defense a few days ago. iCCup, of course, the Russian team Slayers getting a few upsets as well. I know they beat Maus the other day, which was, of course, not a Russian team, but still an incredible victory there.
Yeah, iCCup, not entirely stable in terms of performance, but when they perform, they deliver. Like, they are really solid. They here pick up the Kunkka. I think they did a bit of their homework, as that is, of course, one of the carries that Strangby really likes to play, or Carl Philip, as he goes by in this game. But yeah, picking it up there, I really like both teams here. Both teams for more coordination than anything else. I mean, they can provide some really good team fights, and of course their coordination is the reason why they are able to pull off those upsets next to skill. Both of the teams, at least 4FC, they don't really practice as much as you might expect from a team at their level. And the reason that they can still pull off the quality games that they do is because they have been playing together for so long. So the synergy is just there. And I think that can be said for iCCup as well, as all those players have played together for a long time.
Absolutely. When you have a stable roster like both these teams do and you play together for a while, you can take games off teams that people consider way better because, you just have that cohesiveness that if the other team gives you a chance, you can take it. And interesting draft so far also. iCCup actually drafting the Kunkka. Kunkka's not a hero that they play that often. And we'll have to watch to see if they hit those execution checks, because Kunkka's kind of a tricky hero to play. But what this does do is take it away from 4FC. 4FC has been playing the Kunkka almost non-stop for Strangby, because he, of course, plays an excellent Kunkka. And iCCup here basically denies them that by actually securing it for themselves, along with that excellent combo for it in the form of the Visage.
Yeah, and I like that 4FC, they picked up the Shadow Demon, of course, also to deny it to iCCup, but they also ban out the Bane. That would be another hero that sets up those turns for Kunkka. And right now, I mean, there are still a couple of heroes that you can expect to see for setup stuns. Vengeful Spirit comes to mind, a support that we have seen a lot of lately. But yeah, 4FC kind of limiting the potentials already for iCCup. Just to go over the draft real fast, is the IO Bedrider, Chen, and Dragonite getting banned out by iCCup with the 2 carries. The Gyrocopter and the Lifestealer getting banned out for 4FC, as well as the 2 supports, the Keeper of Light and the Bane. And then the Darkseer and Kunkka for iCCup, with now also the Brewmaster, one that I just want to, touch on in a moment as well, just after going over the draft. Visage picked up iCCup, strong support. Lone Druid for Curly still, as that is one of his signature heroes. Shadow Demon, one of the signature heroes of Matrim, picked up, and Alina there now as well to follow up with the Light Strike Ray on that disruption. So Brewmaster, one of the heroes that, apart from getting a buff, like a lot of heroes got buffs on their Aghanim Scepter, and it's great. And it's a bit of a mixed buff for the Brewmaster, of course. He scales a bit later, a bit better now with his Brewlings.
Yes.
But you normally already build an Aghanim Scepter up on that Brewmaster, so it's
Definitely.
an extra buff for him.
Exactly. On one, it's one thing for a hero to get an Aghanim's upgrade that doesn't already build it, because then it's like, well, now I have to fit into into my item build. I have to figure out when in the game I want to get it. It's another thing for a hero that always rushes Aghanim's Scepter pretty much as Brewmaster, usually after Blink, or even it depends on whether he's actually getting Blink. But in this game, I would expect him to go Blink and then the Aghanims. And the fact that those the microbrews get that Drunken Brawler bonus with Aghanims is actually quite excellent, and it does give him substantial amounts of scaling. The other thing, of course, about the Brewmaster is he's mostly an anti-lone druid tool. He is able to get that Thunderclap, that Drunken Haze, to give the mischance to things like the Bear. He can even lift it up with the Cyclone of the Storm Panda, so he's just an excellent hero all around. The one interesting thing about this is it does mean the Kunkka will be played as a side lane carry, because it's unlikely that the Brewmaster gets sent anywhere except mid.
Yeah, there is maybe a slight chance that he'll be safe lane solo, but he needs a bit of solo lane, because he needs that level 6. Without a level 6, he can't really do that much. I believe we also have seen Brewmaster on aggressive trial lanes, but then he was played as support. I think Poppy once did that, but I doubt that was much success.
Yeah, that seems like an exotic puppy build.
Yeah.
I mean, it's certainly possible. He can even be played as the aggressive Triland Farmer in some situations. His Thunderclap is a very effective zoning technique against melee carries. So I shouldn't have said that he's guaranteed to go mid, but I think in this case he's very likely to go mid. The other thing is they've picked up the Visage, and Visage interfaces better with Kunkka in the laning phase than he does with Brewmaster. Simply because, for instance, if you level Tidebringer, that gives you a couple free charges of Soul Assumption if it hits the enemy tri-lane.
Yeah. We do have the Vengeful Spirit still getting banned out. As mentioned, that would have been a good setup stun for the Kunkka, but right now, they still have to think about something else. So they're taking their time. We have a Beastmaster banned out last for iCCup. We are still missing a solo mid for 4FC. Well, I say that, but we have actually seen Juggernaut solo mid, so it's not entirely sure yet who's going where. Too. But yeah, Lone Druid will probably be on the offlane. Really plays that on the offlane.
Probably.
Though he could be on the safe lane solo and have that aggressive tri-lane with a Shadow Demon and Alina, but as you said, do you really want to do that up against a Visage? That will be a tough one. But yeah, the Juggernaut for 4FC, we have seen Juggernaut Lone Druid combination every single time. I'll say the standard thing that we always say, like you have to either shut one down or the other. You can't shut them both down because they require too much resources, too much heroes, too much time. Yep. And of course the healing potential of the Ward and the pushing potential of the Bear later on makes for great synergy between the two as well.
Absolutely. I actually think, I really like 4FC's lineup. I actually think that they can run the tri-link against the Kunkka Visage, as scary as it is. They may do it anyway. The Juggernaut, of course, has a lot of capacity to just Blade Fury through a lot of the combo that iCCup can throw. And they do have the Shadow Demon Lina. I mean, something like a Disruption Light Strike Array combo in the wrong place that the Juggernaut can then spin on top of. And somebody like Jakiro is not going to get away from that. He's going to die fairly quickly.
Yeah, very quickly, actually.
Mirana.
Wow, that's gonna be a solo mid Mirana, so interesting to see how that goes. And she will at least be able to win the lane from the Brewmaster with the harassment, I think. But one thing that I also want to say, like, Jakiro ended up being the last pick for iCCup. They thought really long about that, and I think that part of the reason why they picked it up is because they know they can use the Shadow Demon to their advantage as well. If he goes for a safe disruption, then there is an ice path up, there will be an ice path over the top, and the one that got saved basically by the disruption will also be locked in place by the ice path that follows up on it. So that's a bit of something that iCCup can use, but they don't have a solid disable. None of these heroes have. Kunkka will have to rely on his X Mark the Spot or his pure skill to land those Torrents, or on Jakiro's skill to land ice paths. Of course, there is Collapse to slow people down, there is Grave Shield to slow people down. But disable, they lack a bit, unless Brewmaster has his ulti. And unless Jakiro lands.
That's true. Their only extremely solid stun is Ice Path. I would say that in response to that, these days leveling X marks the spot early isn't too bad. We've actually seen people with 2 ranks in it by level 6. So it takes damage away from your torrent, and it takes away slow duration. But what it doesn't do is change the amount of time that the torrent hits for. So if you're looking to combo, you can actually not take so many ranks of Tidebringer early. You take 2 ranks of X, 1 or 2 ranks of Torrent, and then 1 or 2 ranks of Tidebringer before your boat. And then you actually have a positioning tool in the X marks the spot that you can use to basically always land ice paths or always land torrents if you need to. That 2 ranks is that ideal sweet spot for that ability. People used to not level it because the mana cost was just completely prohibitive early, but now the mana cost is only 80, so you may see iCCup do that to actually make sure that those ice paths land.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to be farming up that Kunkka, so we will see Resolution in the mid lane as expected. He'll be solo mid with that Brewmaster going for a fast battle. We see iCCup playing the Visage for this game, always want to fly on the Jakiro, and indeed Jackal farming the Kunkka on the top lane. And last but not least, it is the off lane. It is Mag playing the Darkseer for FC.
Yep. And so, sorry, that was 4FC, right?
No, that was iCCup. I believe the
Oh
Darkseer.
my god, I'm so sorry.
Mag is not on 4FC. Sorry, I missaid that also. I said
That's
Mag
my
was
bad.
for playing on 4FC. So
Yeah, I got confused at the end. So, looking up towards 4FC, actually seeking to try to get out of first blood nice and early here. We got Boomski on the Shadow Demon. We're going to get that disruption in just a second. There it actually goes. They're going to use it to chain Sacred Arrow. It does land. Matcher Mummalina is going to follow up with the Light Strike Array. It actually misses, so Jackal might be safe. The Blade Fury from Blomberg on the Juggernaut won't come through. And I think I covered all 4 of those players there. And then Curly on the Lone Druid.
yeah, he is going to be on the safe lane. So we will see an aggressive tri-lane here. And of course for this matchup, which is I think a very even matchup, I'm interested to see what the chat thinks. You can do !vote 4FC or !vote iCCup. Don't be fooled, it actually has to say !vote and then iCCup and not !iCCup. So capital sensitive, case sensitive, no cases, no capitals in iCCup, but for FC, the FC is of course with cases. I kind of like this. We see Strength in Mirana. We have actually, we're used to see Mirana solo offlane. So
Yeah.
even if this aggressive tri-lane might not work out like really great, they can just leave Mirana alone and roam and try to get kills elsewhere. Resolution, of course, the Brewmaster is a hero that the only strength that he has to survive the mid lane is that he is pretty tanky and pretty tough to take down. Like he's just
Sure.
a pretty sturdy hero. And yeah, if they get a level 2 Shadow Demon, they have that Soul Catcher, and that doesn't matter anymore, and they can actually rotate and kill him off before he gets level 6.
That's certainly true. They have 3 cores, so this is an attempt to give all 3 of them some space.
They go for iCCup, the arrow will hit, but is there enough? Light Strike away, nice! With the first blood going to Matrim, he was so patient with that Light Strike Array, knew the arrow was a long range arrow, so they could actually wait until they had that Light Strike Array to just make it longer, make the stun duration longer. Nicely
Yeah,
done.
very, very nice setup, certainly, with the Sacred Arrow there. And that's really what the point of putting Mirana in this tri-lane is. In some respects, it's a weaker tri-lane and a less safe one than it would have been with the Juggernaut, and Mirana would be able to do a little better mid than Juggernaut will be able to do, simply because if Resolution puts a level into Drunken Haze at some point, it'll give the Juggernaut a lot of mischance. However, yeah, it's that Sacred Arrow. If they can consistently land that with a fairly long duration, it has extra bonus damage on it now, and it will give them the opportunity for more kills. The only thing is, and that they already addressed part of this by getting that first blood, they can get zoned out of this lane, Mirana can get pushed back, and their horrible base damage is going to make it pretty tough to last hit if iCCup are being fairly active in the lane.
Yeah, and I love what Boomski is doing. We saw iCCup was trying to pull the lane back. He has got a double stacked camp here. But Boomski is just making sure that the creep wave is going to follow him rather than iCCup. So those creeps will just pass the tower. They are counter-warding the ward behind their tower, so that's great for them. Will allow them maybe feel a bit more safer, of course. I mean, iCCup got picked up like in a place where you wouldn't expect to get picked up, especially not since you just saw Mirana on the lane still, and of course that's the long-range arrow for you. But yeah, they will now maybe feel a bit more safer, and still not able to get extra experience though with the creeps, but they will probably soon. The lane will also get pushed with this, as it seems.
Yep. Just looking quickly towards the bottom lane, we do have Curly basically free farming here, as there's not all that much that if you're iCCup you're going to do about this. Eventually, so what they're currently doing is just having Mag creep skip, and so that's why you see Curly with only 12 last hits. Or actually no, he has almost every last hit, so he's only missed maybe 1. That's actually a very good last hitting under the tower here for him, considering the fact that Mag is doing creep skipping.
Yeah, and he has to be careful, though, Mag that is, because when Curly gets level 5 rather, that bear will be very annoying still. As nicely done by Mag to also now get some extra experience in the jungle by just using the creep wave to help him jungle basically. So getting ahead in terms of farm ahead of everybody because he gets every single last hit. In the meantime, we do have a rotation of the supports. They're gonna come mid. They have got a level 1 only up on Shadow Demon though, but they're going anyway. Disruption will start things off, and yeah, there will be Blade Fury will be there as well. Light Strike Array and Resolution trying to run, but he won't be able to. That's another kill going the way of 4FC, and a second one going the way of Matrim as well, as he now will be able to pick up boots.
That's an immensely well-timed gank from 4FC. Juggernaut was actually in the process of losing that lane. Once Brew hits 4, he was already out last hitting Juggernaut and getting a lot more denies. It was about to become a lot worse with the addition of Drunken Haze to the picture, so a very, very well-timed gank, and one that tilts the balance back in favor of the Juggernaut. Just excellent timing from 4FC so far this game, both for the first blood, with the long-range Sacred Arrow and then interrupting to make sure it hit. That was really good. And then a second kill, also very crisply done.
Yeah, still though, I guess, like when iCCup in mid lane Resolution reaches level 6 and when Blumberg's level 6, you got an Omni Slash versus the split. And even if Blumberg gets his Omni Slash before Resolution gets his split, I think the 3, oh wow, he might actually be able to go with this with a double damage. When there goes the healing ward, he tries to stay alive, he has got those bottle charges, but Resolution is chasing him down. Can he get another crit off? Yes he can, but it's not enough. And that will be Resolution without a kill, as here comes again the support train, but they came in too late. If Resolution would have dived there, he would have died.
This is eventually, the more time that 4FC, the downside of doing this constant roaming is that of course they fall behind on levels, and Strangby could get himself into trouble a little bit, although it does look like the supports will be back in time. Yeah, Zik wasn't in that fight, really. He would have gotten probably a couple more charges of Soul Assumption. That was a little bit of a miscommunication from this iCCup tri-lane. I actually feel that they could have probably picked off the Mirana if Visage was in range.
Yeah, oh, Strangby only played Mirana once. But was last Thursday, and winning with it as well, so showing some strength there on that hero. Skill shots all the way. Of course, it's a pretty strong pop hero as well, that we're gonna assume that he played that. Yeah, but this aggressive tri-lane, even though, like, 4FC is not really, I wasn't gonna say necessarily win it. Brilliant Ice Path, by the way. Light Strike Array up and always want to fly. They might want to go for him instead. But Boomski, in the meantime, in a lot of trouble and will end up going down. Tries to hide, but won't be able to. Always want to fly, also tries to hide, won't be able to. Strangby still gets a Soul Assumption. Tower Head flying towards him. It won't die from it, though. Lives, but only barely. A 1-for-1 trade, and in the meantime, Resolution ends up dying in the mid lane as well. Juggernaut using his Omni Slash to get that kill. Very nicely done, and I guess that was, I mean, you can't get Resolution with just one Omni Slash. You have to have him low before.
Well, mostly just if you clear out the creep wave, if you Blade Fury on top of him, the fact is that Juggernaut is a little bit faster than Brewmaster just on baseline, so you can hit him with just about every hit of the Blade Fury and then use Omni Slash, and that's really what happened there. But really that's just the first blood, because the first blood put Juggernaut half a level ahead, which meant that he hit Omni Slash before Brewmaster hit Primal Split. And with no Primal Split escape mechanism, the Omni Slash is basically a guaranteed kill. So it wasn't just one kill that they earned by rotating those two supports over. It was actually 2 kills, because it was that kill and the Omni Slash kill. And that's effective support play there, basically.
Yeah, it wasn't the first blood, of course, but still. Oh, 4FC.
Not the first blood, sorry. Yeah.
Heavily in favor here. 69% have faith that the Swedes will make it out of this one with 3 extra points. iCCup sitting on 31%. I like that to see that, because indeed this is a fairly even matchup in my book. As Resolution, he has got that split. He want to use it to try and kill off Curly, but he showed himself. And look for some support TPs. No TP up on the Lina. No, well, 1 TP up on the Shadow Demon, but he showed himself. So yeah, that's already the element of surprise gone.
I don't really love that rotation. After Lundruid gets true form, it's actually pretty difficult for a Brewmaster. Here they're going to go on Strangby on the top.
Yeah, Ice Path, Torrent hits. Nice disruption though, but the slow is still there, and the leaf is already used, but here comes the Soul Assumption, and 1 hit will be getting the kill. Zik ends up taking the kill, and Matrim wasn't close enough. He was, of course, still, he was rotating actually middle, realizing there was nobody there, and then rotated back top. Boomski was there with a disruption, but ended up not being enough to help out his teammate, because Zik came from another angle and secured themselves that kill. But I was gonna say, like, even if they lose this top lane as the aggressive tri-lane, or at least not necessarily win it, They still have that bottom lane. They still have that lone druid doing really well for himself. He is, oh, Resolution goes down again. Another Omni Slash. Blomberg, second time. And that was, again, before Brewmaster could split. He didn't have any mana to split also. Wait a second. More action. Boomski in a lot of trouble. Puts himself under the disruption for now. Starstorm going through. Jackal in some trouble. Leap forward from Strangby looking for Jackal. Couple of hits needed. A Shadow Demon already goes down. Let's see if Jackal here goes down. That would be a high priority target for FC to take. There he goes. He gets it, but he does lose 2 supports for it. Blumberg coming in. We just Zig might get cleaned up as well. Can he get a double kill? Yes, he can. That is a really worth losing 2 supports for. And even though they have to deal with Resolution coming in, he couldn't get anything done anymore.
Yeah, Resolution, other than dying twice, obviously he's still winning the lane on last hits for the reasons we talked about earlier, but he hasn't been able to make anything happen. The rotation to the bottom was kind of ill-advised, especially after he showed himself to Curly. Actually, Mag could be in a no first hit entangle, so he's alright. But this is very troublesome for iCCup, not getting that much out of this Brewmaster. He's not at Blink yet, needs about 1,000 more gold, and it's... Oh,
that's an entangle, and Blomberg coming in as well. That's a Mag alive, no bear. Yeah, nice vacuum! But doesn't matter, Blomberg will still get it, and Curly will just TP back bottom. He wanted to go there anyway.
Yeah, despite not getting all the last hits, Blomberg has had a much more active time, killing the Brewmaster twice, now rotating, by himself, participating in another kill of him, and, actually, Resolution, he probably will get the split this time.
Yeah, Light Strike Array is still there. Is there a Laguna Blade? No. Still level 4 up on the Lina, and that's a split to get away. He can't use it aggressive, though. Being forced to use it defensive is such a big loss at this stage.
Strangby in trouble. Probably could, yep, he's dead.
Strangby dead.
That Soul Assumption will do work. And this is the Kunkka leveling scheme that we were talking about at the beginning of the game. Those 2 kills on Strangby were both basically guaranteed by the fact that this Kunkka did pick up 2 ranks of X. So very smart play here. I don't know how often Jackal plays Kunkka. This is my my first time seeing him on this hero, but he's performed very ably.
Yeah, as Mag gets another entangle, this time no kill though. Curly, he's doing really well. If you look at the net worth, he is second highest. Highest is Blomberg on that mid lane. Not because he got most of the last hits, but because of those kills, of course. He's been in 4 out of the 8 ones that have happened for his team so far. And as you said, the rotation of him, every single time he left his lane, he was involved in a kill, or at least got some gold for a kill. Of course, he rotated top when Strangby got that double kill, and he didn't get an official assist for the kill, but he still was in the vicinity for the gold. So his rotations have been successful, while Resolution, his haven't. He came top, wasn't able to do anything. He came bottom, didn't do anything, and he died 3 times right now. And he really still needs more. And we actually see him rushing a Blink Dagger by the looks of it, not even going for mana boots, because he already could have picked those up.
Yeah, at this point, because he's kind of behind because of all the deaths, it makes more sense for him to just try to get the Blink quickly for a little bit of additional initiation oomph for their team than it is for him to just go for the mana boots. Visage can always get the mana boots. He's picked up a few kills. He actually went Medallion first, so... actually, they have no staying power at all. Nobody has mana boots. They eventually will get it on Jakira and Visage, though.
Yeah, I would hope so. By the way, they smoke up. They look for a kill, and they want to go for the Lone Druid. TPs will of course be used. Will be in time though. Curly now knows it. There goes him around ultimate. Moonlight Shadow will be in time. Did it bring detection? No! They didn't bring detection. Omni Slash goes through. Jackal gets entangled. Tries to TP up. Won't be able to. Light Strike Array misses up on Ouija Zig. Mag runs himself away as well. And there's someone still stuck there. That was a TP out from the Jakiro. Oh my god, they did not bring detection. No, they did. Visage got a sentry board. But it was too late. It was too late. And the TPs came and they lose their Kunkka of all people.
Yeah, not a very successful gank there. Not a lot of ways to sugarcoat that outcome for iCCup. They spend the smoke. They come in through the side lane, and it's just completely turned around on them. Possibly a tier 1 tower too. I wouldn't be surprised. No. Yeah, this is done. The healing ward will give them the additional power needed.
Yeah, Jakira will do what he can, but he is not level 6 yet either. Actually, he is. Ooh, the arrow though, it hits! Is that a leap forward? No, they're not gonna try to go for that. But they do get the ward. Very nice. Some more clear farming space for Curly if he wants to. And they do get the tower, obviously. And they wasted a bit of time with iCCup, and they wasted their smoke. So 4FC, they are now ahead. Not by that much, though. If you look at the gold graph, it is still very even. The gold graph, I mean, the difference that we see now, this is one tower. As soon as iCCup takes a tower, it will be even once again. Experience graph shows a bit more how we feel the game might be going, as it's slightly in favor of 4FC. Still very even, but yeah, about 2.5k in favor of them in terms of experience.
I would say that in addition to just the numerical advantage that they have, 4FC have a strategic advantage here, which is that basically all of their 3 cores are getting at least some development. Whereas on iCCup, the Kunkka has had a very difficult time. I mean, Jackal's 024. He basically is just going solid mid-game, early mid-game items. So he's got this power treads. Then he picked up a bracer. So it's quite possibly a drums. When you play Kunkka as a number 1, you really need him to bring the damage in the mid-game. And at his current rate, he won't have things like Shadow Blade for a very long time. So right now, you see iCCup being able to make more or less even trades, assuming equal execution. But that's actually going to change. The later in this game we go, in about 5 minutes, the Visage won't be enough to deal enough damage to win a team fight. It just won't be. And the Kunkka might not have reached a point at which he can do the damage.
Oh, and iCCup, they really want to make that new Blink Dagger work from the Brewmaster. Resolution picked that up. They're looking for fights. They smoked up, and then they ran into the Juggernaut that had an Invis rune. And their smoke gone. They realized someone was there, but didn't want to waste a sentry, and just ended up not going in, coming back mid. Looks like they want to try to go for a push instead. Well, might as well
unlucky
try.
there, but they really haven't used these smokes effectively at all. I mean, was that 2 smokes already? Yeah, they've got 1 left, and the first 2 were completely unsuccessful. We'll see if they try a 3rd time, but it's just been a disaster so far.
Yeah, and it's not even that 4FC is getting that far ahead. It's just that iCCup can't make their heroes work right now. They can't find the fights that they need to. And Resolution picked up a Blink 2.5 minutes faster than average. Of course, part of the reason for that is he didn't end up going for mana boots. He just rushed the Blink Dagger, so that helps a little bit, but...
It's actually a very smart decision, I think.
Yeah, but can he actually get in and get everything off with the Blink Clap ulti? Yeah, he has to be full on mana though.
Right, he's gotta be. Once he gets the arcane boost.
Actually, he can't. 275 for their combination, and the Blink is 75.
That's a good point. Yeah.
That's gonna be higher than, well, yeah, slightly higher than his total mana. He needs a point in stats.
Completely right. Once he hits the next level, I think it'll actually be enough.
He needs the Iron Branch. That is in his stash.
One more branch. One more GG branch would be great. It's right, it's in his inventory. It's in his stash. That's really funny. You're completely right. Yeah, he actually does not have enough for the clap. That's really unfortunate.
I mean, that's the worst thing. Like you want to go in, you blink yourself in, you clap, and then you want to use your ult, and then you don't have mana, and then you're kind of gonna get killed off because, of course, they won't waste any second with burning everything on the Brewmaster.
Yeah.
You can't wait for your supports to then pop mana boots halfway because he'll be very far behind. In the meantime, iCCup does a bit of a DD thing or Quantic thing. When you're behind, take Roche, get an Aegis, get a fight, win a fight, get ahead.
This is a solid idea because, of course, they have Visage. I was about to say they have almost no damage to kill this Roche quickly, but because we often see Visages pick up that early Medallion, Medallion helps your Roche clear time dramatically. Problem is they got spotted out.
Yeah, the arrow already flies up and we just zig, and the Entangle is there as well. Really gets Eggmark's spot, gets Warranted. Moonlight Shadow trying to help out. Only Light already kills up Resolution. No split for you. Both sails in. Not hitting anybody, but of course the buff is still there to try to help out iCCup.
It only hit 1.
Yeah, well... Do they want to go
The thing is, they can steal this
out?
Roche. I can't imagine iCCup can fight this.
They can't fight it without that split, and they already used the boat. They already used their team fight apart from the Brewmaster, and the Brewmaster dead. Brewmaster back in 11 seconds, but... How much will that do?
Yeah.
Darkseer Wall goes up, Ice Path as well. They're still trying to do something. Those birds as well. Vacuum helping out. We just sick. Goes down. Mag gets burned out by Laguna Blade. And always want to fly. Another Ice Path, because what else can he do? Lone Druid snatches the Aegis as a Dire still picks up the last hit. Blinken and Split coming off from the Brewmaster. They will try to kill off Crilly to at least get that Aegis out of the way. Light Striker Raid though helps out, but the Earthbound is still chasing strong.
Big jukes.
Looking for the stun. Gets the stun. Should be able to get the kill with this as well. burns the air. Just no! He runs! Where's the bear? Looking for entangles! Can't find it, but the orb of venom might just be enough! Another bear getting summoned back just to get Blink back, just to get it further ahead. And Curly, he walks. He walks.
I can't believe they didn't remove the Aegis. That's so unfortunate for iCCup. Nothing went right in that fight. 3 for 0 in the end. The boat misses. I mean, it only hit one friendly hero. You usually want it to at least hit a decent chunk of your team, and it did not. The Brewmaster unable to peel through. That's just bad luck.
How sour do you think Resolution is that he doesn't have those last 75 points in his experience bar? Level 2 ultimate would have gotten him down for sure.
That's true. I don't think he's sour, Sheever. I think he's very, very salty about that.
The Iron people sour?
No, they can be sour. I was just making a joke. You're absolutely right. No, that's very, very tough for iCCup. By all rights, they should have at least been able to remove the Aegis. They did get the Roshan kill, so that was an effective blink on the whole by Brewmaster, but it's a little bit of a half a loaf at best.
Yeah, and the birds helping out a lot still as well from Region 6. They didn't end up going down, I believe, so... or maybe they did actually, looking at his resummon timer. But... yeah, that's worth it, and that is, or at least that's worth it. That is a great thing for them because they are getting a bit behind, and they need that core gold up to get their core items. More importantly, Resolution needs mana boots. He realizes that too. He buys them, so that will help out. In the meantime, the bear attacking the tier 1 tower here, while the lone druid himself is just sitting at the back. He can just stand there, taking the tower, waiting for the vacuum. No, he gets it still. Curly gets a tower hit, and he resummons his bear, and there's nothing Mac can do. That's so sad.
That was a good duel.
Yep.
I liked that duel.
Bear on man duel.
iCCup, they have actually a decent timing here. I think even as behind as they are, they probably should try to make something happen maybe, simply because 4FC are still in the process of making their first big item for all their heroes. So you see the Yasha for the Mirana, but it's not a Manta style. You see the point booster for Juggernaut, but it's not the full Ags. When they have Mechanism and 4FC doesn't, which is going to be a long time, because 4FC is going to have a difficult time finishing that mech when they have 3 primary farmers. Yep. I actually think iCCup are slightly favored in teamfights as long as they can execute their abilities and positioning properly.
Yeah, and that is one. We haven't seen the split from Resolution yet, and actually allowing that split to win a teamfight for them, because that is what they rely heavily on, as well as that boat, of course. And they haven't been able to get it. And be that iCCup not able to find it, or 4FC really good in dodging that, I'm not sure. But right now we have 5 people of iCCup sitting in the middle lane. Some a bit back, but still in the middle lane. Well, there's 3 of 4FC sitting around. Actually only 2, because one is actually stacking Ancients. And that means that there's 2 people of 4FC farming. Strangby farms bottom, Grilly farms top, and in the meantime iCCup sharing experience and gold on one lane, and this is not something that you can afford if you're iCCup. You either need to make something happen, or you farm as well. And they don't make anything happen, and they now continue back farming, but they did lose, of course, a bit of time there, a bit of experience there as well, as they just allowed their other team's cores, 1 or 2 of the 3 cores rather, to just do whatever they want to do.
And the fact is, Cridley has the new... he already has the new armlet, which is Maelstrom. A lot of people don't really realize this, but Maelstrom has extremely comparable stats to Armlet and isn't that much more expensive. The main thing it's worse for is pushing, because it doesn't give you that health regen and armor. But look at how it's taking apart this Jakiro. Like, this is pretty crazy.
And then there's no Entangle yet. That's the most unlucky bear ever. Mac coming in, though, as well as Weejazik. They want to try and take it down. Bear already very low. They slow the bear down, but they can't get that one either, and don't want to be chasing just in case there would be an Entangle on a turnaround. But they do save their tower, and they do save their Jakiro in the end, which is of course worth it. But they left their middle lane alone, and even though I just said that they should, maybe they shouldn't have left it this alone, because they lose their tier 1 tower. Now there's no tier 1 tower left on the map for iCCup. And of course the biggest thing for that one is the map control for iCCup is waning quickly. Is that a word?
Absolutely, and they become more and more dependent on smoke to make incursions.
Resolution!
Yeah.
He just picked up a gem, like.
What's the gem?
Oh, apparently not that long ago, or not that short ago, but yeah, that's the gem gone. That's Brewmaster. He is 0-5-0, hasn't been involved in any fights, and once again couldn't get his split off. So much chain disable coming off from 4FC, and burst damage as well, of course. not even Laguna Blade used. What am I saying? That was just burst damage from the heroes themselves.
Yeah, this Brewmaster Resolution has an immensely difficult game right from those early ganks onwards, and yeah, you need your brew to provide that early mid-game space with the primal split, with the zoning abilities, and other than just slightly winning lane, except he died, he's had a completely silent game, more or less, which doesn't give space for Jackal. Jackal now has his Shadow Blade, he has some damage, but he's only level 11, and he's already trying to chew through a level 14 Lone Druid with level 2 True Form. Just look at this Lone Druid, he has almost 2,000 HP, he's got 14 armor, he's about to have a lot more because he's about halfway through to his Assault Cuirass, and at that point, Kunkka's going to have a world of trouble actually bringing him down.
Yeah, and he hasn't even been involved in that many fights. He's just been farming most of the time. He's only been in 3 fights. The one that has been in most fights is the Juggernaut, who still hasn't died yet either. 6 for 0 for 1, only got 1 assist. He has got his Aghanims ready in about 100 gold, so that will be him. I mean, it will be so tough for iCCup to actually still win a fight. They need everything to be perfect for them. With the Darkseer Wall and the Vacuum into the boat, into the Ice Path, into the Macropyre, into the Collapse, and then split, and then kill off everybody that's trying to run away. That's basically their thing right now. And it's very potent. It has a lot of damage going through, but you can't, if you can't get it done, you're screwed.
Yeah. Vacuum can set up a lot of pretty crazy stuff. Like, even just a Vac Torrent by itself is almost enough to take a team fight.
Yeah.
But that's becoming less and less true as they fall farther and farther behind. Taking another unfavorable trade here, the tier 1, their first tower of the game, for the tier 2 mid is not tremendously favorable. Because again, as you mentioned earlier, Sheever, they continue losing map control more and more and more, which pressures them more and more heavily to try to take smoke ganks or something. But we've seen 4FC's response to smoke ganks already. Moonlight Shadow, and just use it as a reset button. Try to reposition the fight to your liking.
Yeah, and now with the gem of God on iCCup, they have to really always be prepared and have some sentries around, because otherwise you can't get anything done with it, as their Aghanims is indeed complete upon Blomberg. And I guess for iCCup, they probably thought that they could make that trade for tier 1, tier 2 just to get some core gold up, because right now, I mean, they know they're behind, they know that something has to be done. And maybe they feel like they can only do something after having a bit more gold. They do have the Shadow Blade up on Jackal.
Yep.
But other than that, well, they have the Mechanism up on Mac, that will help out a lot as well. They smoke up again, by the way. And then there will be, they will be looking for something, but what are they gonna be finding? They don't have Roshan up just yet, just about over 1.5 minutes.
Yeah,
yeah, sentries. They so have to continue placing sentries just to know that they are safe. Oh, they find one though, and it's again an Invis rune! Juggernaut the second time sentry ward gets placed. But
That's
oh
so
my
funny.
God. That is so unlucky.
Yeah, it is. 4 sentry wards placed, I mean, 2 down here almost in the same spot. Yeah. 1 here, and they still can't get any use out of their smokes. iCCup are in the unenviable position of obviously needing, there's their 5th sentry ward.
Yeah.
They need to smoke, but the problem is 4FC know they need to smoke, so they can just play defensively, and it makes the smokes extremely unlikely to find any success.
Yeah, and then they have placed, this is the last sentry ward, by the way, because they don't have any more on any of their heroes right now. So either they fight here, or they wait until they get more sentry wards, or they try to gank up on Curly, but they'll be too late for that. Resolution still tries to chase him down, but that won't be easy. In the meantime, wicked sick for Blomberg, because he found himself a Jakiro that was just a bit, I'm not sure why he was still there, as the birds get picked up, so that's 200 gold going away for FC.
Oh man, Resolution. Poor guy.
Getting chased down by the bear. He's able to blink in the end. Really could have hit him to stop him from blinking, but not thinking about that, or maybe just wanted to let him go, wanted to force him back. Because in the meantime, his team is already pushing up to tier 3. iCCup. If they don't fight now, when will they fight? This could be one of the positionings that you have like everything in your favor. Bottleneck scenario. But they don't have everything, so even if they decide to fight mid, their bottom lane will still get pressured. Better yet, the tier 3 is already dead. Vacuum, X marks the spot. Krilly in some trouble here, gets clapped on. Moonlight Shadow tries to help out, and Krilly, he stays alive for now. Omni Slash going through. Ouija Zig gets picked off already. That's an Aghanims Omni Slash. Monster kill for Blomberg. He tries to chase down another support. He gets hit by the Ice Path. Always want to fly sit on 100 HP. able to at least stay alive for now. Oh, and he actually, Blumberg gets stunned up. If he might die here, but Resolution back to his normal self, tries to chase him down, able to pick up the kill in the end. Darkseer with a double kill, and it is iCCup that forced 4FC away from this. Krilly lives though, the one that it all started with, but they do pick up the Mirana, and they also pick up the Lina. So that is the Darkseer wall doing work, and then your own heroes will start working against you. Wait a second, Krilly gets an entangle, pulls his hero back. Mag wants to go for a triple kill if he could. Still tries to chase down Krilly. I don't think he can though, he's so tanky, but he will get help from the burst, and Resolution can blink and clap in the meantime as well. Gets Surge just to get the clap in. Slowing Krilly down should be enough if he gets enough hits. And that is a kill going the way of iCCup again. That is 4 kills. And that should be Roche indeed for iCCup. This is the comeback that they needed. It wasn't the perfect fight that we talked about, but it was just punishing 4FC for being cocky.
Yeah, 4FC definitely going a little bit too greedy there. There was no reason to dive past the tier 3 without clearing the tier 3, and that's basically what they did. They do, of course, end up getting the tier 3, but iCCup, I expected them to go straight for Roshan here. I think they have plenty of time to do it before Krilly comes up. Okay, yeah, they're going to go for it, I think. It would be... They really... Just the team fight win is not enough. They actually need more on top of that. It doesn't look like... okay. They decided not to take the Roshan. I think that's an error. Okay, they're going in. Maybe?
Maybe not. Maybe not. He starts building his Aghanims. They are going to start placing some wards though, but right now it's too late already. Arrow will already fly in, and you don't really want to try that again. Yeah. So that is indeed iCCup backing out. They did take the tier 1 tower in the end, which is of course a big thing also for Roshan.
Absolutely.
To have or deny your opponent's team that TP point in the mid lane, so that is pretty big. But yeah, you're right. I mean, they don't get that in return, and I agree they could have done it, but maybe just a bit too careful here, as of course they are behind. And yes, I mean, it's one of the key things in Dota, knowing when you're behind, when you can go in, when you can't. Like those, like you can micro those decisions and macro those decisions. And this was one of
on the top, because if he doesn't get his if there's an entangle and he doesn't get shadow blade, nice torrent, he's actually fine.
Ooh, nice arrow dodge, and he didn't see that coming. Well, on the last moment he did, but
yeah, that was pretty woe Dota actually.
Yeah. Arrow, of course, being nerfed, well, buffed a bit by being smaller, as in the arrow that you cannot see.
Yes.
So, yeah. You can
more translucent and smaller.
Exactly, so that you have a harder time dodging it because it's a less big projectile coming towards you. As Always Wanna Fly might be in some trouble. They find him. The entangle around the corner. The Monocourage as well. Always Wanna Fly knows he's dead. Tries to do what he can before he dies, but yeah. He knew pretty much he was dead. The arrow will hit on Roshan again. It should be Roshan for 4FC, because without the Jakiro... Can iCCup actually fight this? Jakiro is a pretty big factor in those Roche kills, Roche fights.
Yeah, Jakiro is incredibly good in the pit, because you can just put a macro pyre on the lip of the pit and it comes into it. They have to try, I feel. They can't just give it up, but it's going to be incredibly difficult.
They are trying. They already almost get the support, so Matrim already dropped down. Only Sash will still pick up the Vision, but he'll still have his birds to control for now, as Blomberg's, or the bear actually in the air. That's a split for Resolution doing the works. Krilly might be in some trouble here, getting forced out here. Blomberg now going on the burst. That's Visage completely out of play, and now the bear goes down as Krilly drops. Strangby still tries to do what he can, but he takes a lot of damage. Blomberg having to force away again. Light strike away from Matrim. Nicely on 2. He bobbed back to be back in this fight. Resolution back to his normal self. And iCCup, they are able to fight this by the looks of it. And I think they're... Oh, never mind. Laguna Blade up on Jackal. Nicely done. Resolution getting another stun and an arrow. And the Star Storm and a double kill. Going away of Matrim. Always Wanna Fly. He already died earlier. He will die again by the same person that killed him off earlier. It is Strangby with Mirana getting the kill. And now we only have Mag left alive. And of course the Visage is not that high level, so he was already back as well. And this will be the Roshan going away of 4FC. And I really thought iCCup had it there.
Matrim with the buyback. If he hadn't bought back, they did have it there, Sheever. I totally agree, but that Lina buyback did an amazing amount of work. Every single Light Strike array was incredibly on point, using the Laguna Blade to also slay the Kunkka as he tried to like leave and then re-engage with Shadow Blade. That was really, really excellent Lina play from Matrim there with that buyback. And he is actually, I mean, he's 6-3 and 9 on this Lina. He has the most teamfight contribution of anybody except for Juggernaut, who he's tied with. Only 3 deaths, and he's doing incredibly well in this game. He could get Blink if he wants it, or he could start something like Aghanim Scepter if he even wants.
Yeah, let's see. Because he is on his way to the base, so he'll probably get Blink. Well, he has a Force Staff already, so it really depends how mobile does he want to be.
Yeah. Blink Force actually on Lina is not that redundant, because you could do something like Blink Force, Light Strike in, Laguna, and then leave, but... No, it looks like he'll just get good solid items. That's just to me that'll go something like either Yule's, Aghanims, something overall decent, rather than the Blink.
Yeah, in the meantime, iCCup, even though they lost Saroshan, they hold themselves in the fight. Their fights are going better and better, I feel.
They are.
So they are definitely still in this, even though they are behind by 12k gold, experience graph 10k, also going the way of 4FC. But it's starting to matter less. Their teamfight coordination, the teamfights are starting to be more, weighing more in these fights, because if you win a team fight, you can take a lot in return for it. And even though iCCup, they didn't take the Roche, they did take the tier 1 tower in the end, so getting some more map control back. And they still have that amazing team fight waiting around the corner if they can get the coordination done. The question is, can they get it done, and can 4FC work their way around it? Their split push is definitely very strong as well.
Yeah. My fear is that... So, I agree that iCCup can forestall the inevitable to some extent, but to me, it feels like they're still waiting for 4FC to make a critical mistake. Yeah. So, 4FC still absolutely in the driver's seat of this game with 3 outer towers, that 12k experience lead you were talking about. It's difficult for iCCup to actually make anything happen other than waiting patiently, trying to get some farm for Kunkka, clearing on an ancient stack here, and just waiting for 4FC to go high ground very, very poorly. So they did make one fairly weak high ground attempt, but it has to happen again and again for iCCup to really be able to seize the initiative again. Keep in mind, just the bear alone, it's got Maelstrom, Assault Cuirass, and Skullbasher. They're up to the point where they can put that bear on the high ground and everybody sits on the low ground. And then that way iCCup gets put in a very difficult position. How many spells do we waste on this bear? And once we put a bunch of spells on it, then the team goes high ground.
Very true. And of course, at the same time, they have to get lucky. Jackal has got that Crystallis building towards the Deadless, but he has to get lucky with those crits, so they're actually going to go for the bear. X marks the spot. A bit awkward, but the ice pat's still there. They aren't able to kill him off, though. Do a lot of damage, but won't be a bear kill for now, and they actually smoke up.
They would have if they had properly triggered the X marks the spot to make the torrent hit, because that slows too. Well, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. They're gonna make the bear miss. They know that they have to focus on the bear.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But this is just very deadly, because 4FC, they did this before, and they, in the end, of course, they lost that fight, but they did end up taking a tier 3 with split pushing just alone, and we already see Krilly, he's moving bottom. Because he knows that once the creeps are up the high ground, and he sets his bear on one of those racks, their racks will probably die in the duration of a fight.
Kunkka has finished Daedalus, so all in on these crits, and I think this is absolutely the correct call. They need to somehow just DPS people down, whether that be lucky. There we go, there's the bear. So that's going to have to be a resummon. It's 300 free gold for them. Nice defense so far. They're doing everything correctly.
Yeah. Strangby in the meantime. Oh, nice leap.
Nice leap.
He's able to get himself away Moonlight's channel, and that will also be the initiation from the rest of the team, knowing that there is some away. Look at the split push. It's so annoying. iCCup. They can only defend one side at a time. In the meantime, the new bear was already bashing on the racks again.
Go get this bear, though.
And that bear, yeah, with the medallion, he will go down very soon. And that is a second bear. That is not a resummon there for Krilly for another 90 seconds. And this could be the chance for iCCup to go in. Blink, split, look for it right now. But it's too late. 4FC, they realize they have to wait for more bears. And they can't get it. And they will back off.
Yeah. Decent defense, actually, honestly, put together by iCCup. The issue is, yeah, now that there's 3 cores, they can split push you in 3 lanes. And that's why the MKB from Mirana is very cool as well. It's not that common for her to go that as, you know, a second big item after Sanj and Yasha. This is not your typical Mirana loadout. You don't see anything like a Manta style. But they can push one lane with Juggernaut healing salve, healing ward. They can push another lane with Lone Druid Bear, and they can push another lane with Mirana on the low ground hitting the tower with her MKB. So no high ground mischance. And all 3 of these heroes have almost the same net worth. It's all in that 14,000, 15,000 range. So it becomes, can you defend pushing in 3 lanes? And this time they did it barely, with just the melee racks, barely
Pun
survived.
intended. Omni slashes going through. Blomberg though not ended up killing anybody as Vision still got cleared out by the Lina. Blomberg, Ice Path in some trouble maybe. Dual breath going through. 250 HP, but they don't get a kill in the end and only lose their Visage.
Yeah.
And that might actually be enough for iCCup to back out. They do have that Aghanims up on Resolution.
They need to... The problem is they're in a position still where their choices are so constrained. They have to make things happen. And in the meantime, Krilly is just going to... He has his bear resummoned. This is a tier 3 gone.
Dire's top tower
Yeah,
is
he's
under
already on the top lane. In the meantime, Strangby trying to delay iCCup from getting away. Oh, there goes the arrow.
top barracks.
Oh my god, that's the longest arrow ever. Resolution, he'll go down because of that. 2 hits,
Soul Jackal.
1 miss. That's a double kill. That is at least Kunkka Resolution. And that's a 2
That's all
course
she
dead.
wrote. Yeah,
That should be game.
No buyback. There's no way, unfortunately. They're down to 3 people. No Kunkka, their only damage source. No Brewmaster, their only disrupting source. Very nice chase by 4FC there, especially the interrupt on the Kunkka town portal. But also the arrow, the Hail Mary arrow there. Really nice play, honestly.
Yeah, I think he interrupted the TP himself because he didn't want to get arrowed. But in the
Oh,
meantime,
really?
Resolution just... I don't know. Maybe he thought the
That's-
arrow range was shorter.
Yeah. That's unfortunate if Kunkka disrupted his own TP. That's not necessary, and it's part of what made them lose the game in the end there. But basically, 4FC just really smart play from minute 1 to the end. They knew that if they won early game somehow, that they'd be in extremely good shape. Like, it would be very, very difficult for iCCup. iCCup is not a... This lineup is not a comeback team. It's got some wombo combo potential, but the wombo combo potential relies on Kunkka actually having gotten farm. So, or a Brewmaster for that matter.
Or your enemies
So
making
iCCup-
mistakes.
Exactly, or your enemies making mistakes. So 4FC knew that as long as they played tight and they won the early game, they'd be fine. And really good rotations from the supports to kill the Brewmaster. I mean, Resolution had such a difficult game this game. And then Krilly just farming, and Strangby just farming whenever he found the opportunity into a late game split push. They always had something that iCCup wouldn't be able to deal with, pretty much the whole game through.
Yeah, no, iCCup have got their 5th loss, and we can also say that their chances to go to Kiev are kinda low right now, depending on what the opponent teams or what the other teams do, because it's no longer in their own hands.
Yeah.
They well, partly they have to win everything, and they have to hope that some people lose some. But we'll see if 4FC can take another game, because they'll be up against Z-Rage. Z-Rage has only played 6 games this season, has got only 3 losses to their name, so their chances to go to Kiev are still very much alive.
Yeah.
So 4FC taking on Z-Rage coming up next in just a moment for StarLadder Season 6, day number 22. Game number 2 of a day where we see 5 games in total, so stick around for more StarLadder action in just a moment.